a monic quadratic, basically a quadratic, guys, is something that has a power of 2. Okay, so where the highest power is 2. So see how in this type of expression, it has x squared, where 2 is the highest power. That's called a quadratic, and we are wanting to factorize that one. Now, in this kind of expression, we have our x squared, then our x, and then some constant number at the end. So we have x squared, x, and then a constant number. Always keep it in that order, okay? So if it's not in that order, I want you to first change it into that order and then work your factorization. Now, in this expression, we have the coefficient. Coefficient is the number in front of any pronumeral. Now the coefficient of x is a plus b. Okay, we don't know what a and b are. We're going to find that. Now it's a plus b in the coefficient of x, and for the constant term, we simply do a times b. Okay. Now I know that sounds a bit confusing, so what I'll show you is the cross method. Now the cross method is something that will help you a lot when you want to factorize something like this. So try to understand this method, and then you should be able to do all these type of questions. So what you do is you simply draw a cross, okay, so because it's called the cross method. And then on your left hand side, I want you to put the factors of x squared. How do you get x squared? Well, x squared is simply x times x, isn't it? So you just need to put x here and 1x here, and make sure x times x becomes x squared. Okay, that's easy, just x and x in one of the two branches. Now, on your right hand side, you simply look at the constant term. Actually, I should have circled the sign in front as well. So on your right, you look at the factors of AB plus AB. Okay, so make sure you always keep an eye on the sign as well. Now, how do we get AB? What times what becomes AB? Simply A times B. A times B becomes AB, so you put A on one and B on the other. Okay, and they both should be positive because positive makes a positive. Okay, you could have negative and negative, but I'm not going to consider any negatives because none of these have negatives in them. If they did have a negative, I would consider trying the negative ones, but because it doesn't have any negative, I know that it's all going to be positive. So we don't have to worry about the signs really much here. Now, we simply multiply crossways, because that's the point of the cross method. You multiply crossways. So you do x times b, which is bx, and x times a, which is ax. Okay? And then you have a look at these two. You have to try and look at them and see here, guys. If I expanded this, this would be ax plus bx, isn't it? If I expanded it. Now ax plus bx, which I've got here, are these two the same? Yes, it is. That means you've succeeded, and that's the answer. So we've got the right thing, we've made that equal to that. So make sure your outcome, when you add them, you get what's in the middle. And then if that worked out, then what I like to do is simply draw some brackets around here, like that. So it's going to be x plus, see how these are all positive? It's positive b and positive a, isn't it? So you do x plus a times x plus b here. And this will be your final answer.